Alright, so today we're doing Braun Strowman for this video. So as I said in the last video, and I think the other video before, I did Stacey Keeper, I did Luke Brayley. I was going to do all the people in the Wyatt family and then do the Wyatt family one. So we're going to get into Braun Strowman. I'm going to start off like I usually do, where I'd go through a basic about them, and then I'm going to go into their career and stuff like that. So I'm going to start with their overview. So he's an American professional wrestler, strongman and actor. As a wrestler, he's best known for WWE, where he forms under the name Braun Strowman. Before professional wrestling, he began his strongman career in 2010 when he won the NAS Amateur National Championship in 2011 and the Arnold Amateur Strongman Championship in 2012. After his retirement from strongman athletics, he transitioned into professional wrestling and signed a contract with WWE in 2013, where he wrestled in NXT under the name Braun Strowman. Upon debuting on the main roster in 2015, Strowman became part of the Wyatt family. He has held the WWE Universal Championship and the Intercontinental Championship once, and he has headlined many pay-per-view events for WWE. He is tied with Shayna Baszler for the most eliminations in a single elimination chamber match, with 5, tied with Brock Lesnar for the most eliminations in a single Royal Rumble with 13. He holds records for the most eliminations in a single Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal with 14. And he is tied for the most eliminations in a single Survivor Series elimination match with 4. So now we're going to get into his early life. So he was born September 6, 1983 in Shellersford, North Carolina, near Charlotte, to Sarah and Rick Crusher. His father was widely regarded as one of the greatest slow-pitch softball players of all time, and is a USSSA Hall of Fame member who still holds the all-time World Series records in home runs, hits and RBIs. She has a younger sister named Hannah. Growing up, he spent time at Arkansas and Tennessee. He attended Bandy's High School, where he was the football, track and field and wrestling teams. He went through the significant growth spurt in high school. He was 5'8" during his freshman year and grew to 6'5" by the time he graduated. After graduating in 2001, he goofed off until 2003 when he enrolled in community college. He spent the next 4 years playing football and semi-professionally for the Hickory Hornets, supplementing his income by working as a doorman and a mechanic. He attended the NFL Scouting Combine in 2007, but ultimately did not turn professional. And in late 2000, he began competing in amateur strongman competitions. He earned his Strongman Corporation professional card by winning the NAS Amateur National Championship on November 5th, 2011. He won the 2012 Arnold Amateur Strongman Championship on March 4th, which he took place during the Arnold Sports Festival alongside the 2012 Arnold Strongman Classic. This victory earned him an invite to the 2013 Arnold Strongman Classic. He competed in the SCL North American Championship, finishing 5th place overall, as well as competing in the Giants Live Poland event, finishing 7th overall, and he earned his nickname the Strawman. So he signed his contract to professional wrestling promotion WWE in early 2013. He was assigned to the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, where he adopted the ring name Braun Strowman, with the first name reference to Milwaukee Brewers left fielder Ryan Braun, and his last name tweaked version of the nickname during his strongman career, the Strawman. In 2014, he made an appearance as one of the Adam Rosebuds in his Exotic Expanse gimmick, and made his professional wrestling debut at an NXT live event in Jacksonville, Florida, defeating Chad Gable. Strowman appeared on a main event taping in a dark match where he defeated an unidentified wrestler. So I'm going to get onto his Wyatt family. So an episode of Raw, Strowman made main roster debut as a heel by attacking Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns and establishing himself as a newest member of the Wyatt family, alongside Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Strowman had his first televised singles match on the August 31st episode of Raw, defeating Ambrose by disqualification. Strowman wrestled his first pay-per-view match on September 20th at Night of Champions, where the Wyatt family defeated Ambrose, Reigns and Chris Jericho after Jericho passed out to Strowman's lifting arm triangle chokehold. At TLC, the Wyatt family defeated the ECW Originals in a 8-man elimination tables match. Strowman appeared in the Royal Rumble in 2016 and scored among the most eliminations in the Royal Rumble for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, eliminating 5 opponents before eliminated by Brock Lesnar, only to return to the match and help his fellow Wyatt family members eliminating Lesnar. At Fastlane, the Wyatt family lost to Big Show, Kane and Ryback, but got their win back in a rematch the next night on Raw. At WrestleMania 32, he appeared during The Rock and John Cena's confrontation with the Wyatt family, suffered a rock bottom after being volleyed back and forth between Cena and The Rock. In process, the Wyatt family were originally scheduled to face League of Nations at Payback, but the match was cancelled after Wyatt suffered a legitimate injury. The Wyatt family soon began a feud with the Tag Team Champions The New Day, defeating them in the 6-man tag match at Battleground. He goes on to, in 2016, to single competition. So part of the WWE draft, Strowman was drafted to Raw brand, while Wyatt and Rowan were drafted to SmackDown. Instead of separating himself from the Wyatt family and beginning a singles career, over the following weeks, Strowman modified his appearance and defeated James Ellsworth and several other local wrestlers who put up no challenge. On an episode of Raw, Sin Cara challenged Strowman due to him disrespecting the Luchadors. Strowman defeated Sin Cara by countout and by pinfall in the following weeks. On another episode of Raw, Strowman confronted Sami Zayn after easily defeating 3 regular competitors in a 1-on-3 handicap match. Strowman was scheduled to compete against Zayn the following week on Raw, but the match never happened as both men attacked each other before the bell rang. Strowman won a Battle Royal by eliminating Zayn for a spot on Team Raw for the Survivor Series 5-on-5 elimination match. At the event, Strowman eliminated Dean Ambrose, but was the first man to be eliminated for Team Raw after being counted out due to interference from James Ellsworth. He was put through a table after being chased up the entrance ramp by Strowman. Team Raw lost. Raw General Manager announced that a match between Strowman and Zayn at Roadblock End of the Line, being announced as a 10-minute time limit match, which Strowman had 10 minutes to defeat Zayn, which Strowman was unable to do. The following night, Strowman demanded that match against Zayn, which Strowman, but Foley had given Zayn the night off, which prompted Strowman to attack Sin Cara and Titus O'Neil during their match, and later attack Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns during their match against Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Strowman defeated Zayn in a last man standing match on an episode of Raw to end their feud. At the Royal Rumble, Strowman interfered in Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns' title match, helping Owens retain the Universal Championship. Later that night, Strowman entered the Royal Rumble match at 7, eliminating Mojo Rawley, Big Cass, Big Cass, Kalisto, Mark Henry, Big Show, James Ellsworth and Ty Dillinger, before being eliminated himself by Baron Corbin. Strowman challenged for his first World Championship when he took on Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship, as he was granted a match by Foley after video proof of Owens promising Strowman a title match, which Strowman won by disqualification after Reigns interfered and attacked him. Strowman then continued to demand better competition, easily defeating 4 local competitors and then being granted a match with Reigns at Fastlane, who also had attacked him during his match against Samoa Joe, causing Joe to win. At the event on March 5th, Strowman lost to Reigns, marking his first loss by pinfall. At WrestleMania 33, Strowman competed in Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which he won by eliminating. Which was won by Mojo Rawley. Strowman continued to feud with Reigns, attacking him and kayfabe injuring his shoulder. Despite playing a villain, Strowman received very positive fan response, partially due to negative fan reaction to Reigns. Payback, Strowman defeated Reigns. During the match against Big Show on Raw, Strowman performed a superplex on Big Show off the ropes, causing the ring to implode. And Strowman had a legitimate injury with a shattered elbow and would therefore be sidelined for 6 months. This also caused a change in schedule, with the planned match between him and Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire having been scrapped. Strowman underwent surgery 3 days later. However, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that Strowman's elbow injury was indeed legitimate. It was minor, 4 months. It was minor, scheduled to the silence only for 2 months. With WWE exaggerating in order to make a surprise return. This led to an ambulance match at Great Balls of Fire. Strowman returned from injury attacking Roman Reigns, and this led to an ambulance. Yeah, so that's basically what it is. I'm missing a lot of this out. For some reason I could not read today. So it was exaggerated. He returned after 2 months, attacks Roman Reigns. This led to an ambulance match at Great Balls of Fire, which Strowman won at SummerSlam. Oh God. SummerSlam. Strowman challenged Lesnar to the Universal Championship in a fatal 4-way match, also involving Reigns and Samoa Joe in the losing effort. Strowman faced Lesnar for the championship at No Mercy, but was unsuccessful once again. Strowman later became involved in The Miz's feud with the Reform stable, The Shield, leading to a 5-on-3 handicap match at TLC. Where he, Miz, Cesaro, Sheamus and Kane faced Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins and Kurt Angle. During the match, Strowman's teammates turned on him by throwing him into the garbage truck, turning Strowman face in the process. His team lost the match. Strowman returned to Raw the following week, attacking Miz and the Miztourage. At Survivor Series, Strowman was part of the Team Raw, defeating Team SmackDown, as Strowman and Triple H were the sole survivors of the team. Strowman fought Kane to a double count-out in a match to determine the number 1 contender for the Universal Championship. At the Royal Rumble, leading to the match being changed to a triple threat match involving Kane and Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. Strowman failed to win the title. The next night on Raw, Strowman defeated Kane at the last man standing match to qualify for the Elimination Chamber match in the pay-per-view to determine the number 1 contender for the Universal Championship. At Elimination Chamber, Strowman eliminated The Miz, Elias, John Cena, Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. But this was won by Roman Reigns when he eliminated Strowman. So now we're going to get into his World Championship pursuits. Hopefully I did not mess this bit up like I did in the last bit. So Strowman, despite lacking a partner, won the Tag Team Battle Royal. It's determined the number 1 contenders for the Raw Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania 34. Raw General Manager Kurt Angle allowed Strowman to challenge for the titles under the provision he chose a partner at WrestleMania. At WrestleMania, Strowman chose a young fan in attendance named Nicholas to be his partner. In reality, it was the son of John Kane. The duo defeated champion Cesaro and Sheamus, winning his first championship in WWE and making Nicholas the youngest champion in any kind of WWE history. Strowman and Nicholas relinquished the titles due to Nicholas' scheduling conflicts. On April 27th at the Greatest Royal Rumble in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, Strowman won the namesake match, and in doing so broke the record for the most eliminations in a Royal Rumble match with 13, beating Roman Reigns' previous record of 12. Strowman then entered into a feud with Kevin Owens. He and Bobby Lashley defeated Owens and Zayn at Backlash and won the Money in the Bank ladder match for the namesake pay-per-view. At Extreme Rules, Owens defeated Strowman in a steel cage match after Strowman performed a chokeslam off the cage with an announce table on Owens, giving Owens the win as his feet touched the floor first per the rules. At SummerSlam, Strowman defeated Owens with his Money in the Bank contract on the line in 2 minutes and in their feud. Later the same night, Strowman announced that he would be cashing in the winner of the main event and challenging them after the match. However, then reigning Universal Champion Brock Lesnar attacked Strowman during the match with Roman Reigns, leaving Strowman unable to cash in when Reigns won the title after pinning Lesnar. Strowman attempted to cash in on Reigns the next night on Raw, but was stopped by The Shield, who attacked Strowman before the match became official. Strowman formed an alliance with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre by helping them attack The Shield, turning heel. At Hell in a Cell, Strowman cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Reigns, but due to interference with Brock Lesnar, the match ended in no contest. At Super Showdown, Ziggler and McIntyre lost to the Shield, but defeated them 2 days later on Raw. Strowman, Ziggler and McIntyre lost the Shield again after McIntyre accidentally kicked Strowman during the match. Afterwards, Strowman powerslammed Ziggler before being attacked by McIntyre, dissolving the partnership and turning face again. At Crown Jewel, Strowman lost to Lesnar after a pre-match attack by Raw General Manager Baron Corbin and five F5s, in which Strowman kicked out of 4 of the F5s. At Survivor Series, Strowman once again attacked by Corbin, along with McIntyre and Bobby Lashley, after Team Raw defeated Team SmackDown in a traditional tag team elimination match. The following night, Raw, Strowman was attacked by Corbin, Lashley and McIntyre, which was used to write him off television, as WWE revealed that Strowman was suffering from a legit elbow injury, which required surgery. Strowman returned at TLC, defeating Corbin in a table, ladders and chairs match to earn the Universal Champion match against Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, and Corbin was stripped of all authoritative power. He was removed from the Universal Championship match after damaging Vince McMahon's limo after chasing Baron Corbin and refusing to pay for damages. However, he instead participated in the Royal Rumble match, replacing John Cena, who wasn't medically cleared to compete. He was last man eliminated by eventual winner Seth Rollins. Strowman continued his feud with Corbin, leading to a no disqualification match at Elimination Chamber, which Strowman won after interference from McIntyre and Lashley. The following night on Raw, Strowman defeated Corbin in a tables match, ending their feud. Strowman was then involved in the storyline with Colin Jost and Michael Che of SNL fame on the March 4th episode of Raw. The SNL duo appeared and announced that a special correspondence for WrestleMania 35 in backstage segments. Later that night, Josh questioned the legitimacy of professional wrestling, resulting in Strowman attacking him. Strowman announced their participation in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He challenged the duo to also enter a Battle Royal, which was made official by the WrestleMania 35 host Alexa Bliss. The match took place on the kickoff show. Saw Strowman emerge victorious after last eliminating Jost. Strowman broke another record in the most eliminations in a particular match as well, with 14 overall. Strowman was announced as one of the entrants to the Money in the Bank ladder match at Money in the Bank. However, Strowman lost to Sami Zayn, who would help Corbin and McIntyre forfeiting his spot in the match to Zayn in the process. Strowman defeated Bobby Lashley in an arm wrestling match, but then was attacked by Lashley, setting up a match at Super Showdown, which Strowman won. Strowman faced Lashley in a 4 count anywhere match, which ended in a no contest as Strowman crashed Lashley through an LED boards on stage, where Strowman suffered a kayfabe ruptured spleen. Strowman defeated Lashley in a last man standing match at Extreme Rules, ending their feud. In August, Strowman entered a storyline with the Universal Champion Seth Rollins after saving Rollins from attack by the OC. Strowman and Rollins defeated Gallows and Anderson to win the Raw Tag Team Championships. A Universal Championship match between Strowman and Rollins was subsequently arranged for the Clash of Champions, with the duo also having to defend the tag titles against Ziggler and Rude. At the event, Strowman and Rollins lost their titles to Ziggler and Rude in the opening match. In the main event, Strowman lost to Rollins. Strowman then started an on-air feud with the boxer Tyson Fury. This led to a brawl on episode of Raw due to neither man wanting to offer an apology. Strowman lost to Fury at Crown Jewel after he was counted out, and after the match, Strowman laid out Fury with a running power slam to end their feud. As part of the 2019 draft, Strowman was drafted to SmackDown brand at Survivor Series. Strowman was part of Team SmackDown in the 5-on-5-on-5 Survivor Series between Team Raw, Team SmackDown, Team NXT, which Strowman's team won. At the Royal Rumble, Strowman entered at 14 but failed to win the match. Despite interferences from Sami Zayn and Cesaro, Strowman defeated Shinsuke Nakamura to win the Intercontinental Championship for his first time in his career, making his first singles title in WWE. However, at Elimination Chamber, Strowman lost the title to Sami Zayn in a 3-on-1 handicap match, also involving Nakamura and Cesaro, in which Zayn pinned Strowman. In April, it was announced that Strowman would replace Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 36, facing Goldberg for the Universal Championship, after Reigns opted to pull out. The event had been concerns surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic that had already affected the pay-per-view. On the first night of WrestleMania, Strowman returned after a month-long hiatus, defeating Goldberg to win the Universal Championship, his first World Championship. He began a feud with Bray Wyatt, including the title match and Money in the Bank, which Strowman won. After retaining the title against John Morrison and The Miz at Backlash, Strowman rekindled the rivalry with Wyatt, who challenged him to a non-title match at the Wyatt Swamp Fight, which Strowman had accepted. At the Horror Show Extreme Rules, Strowman lost the cinematic style match after being dragged into the lake by Wyatt, who used multiple illusions in the match. He showed no compassion towards Alexa Bliss and physically attacked her with a gorilla press, turning heel for the first time since 2018. At SummerSlam, Strowman lost the title to Wyatt in a Falls Count Anywhere match, ending his reign at 141 days, after which both he and Wyatt were attacked by returning Roman Reigns. At Payback, Strowman failed to win back the title after he had pinned by Reigns. As part of the 2020 draft in October, he was drafted to Raw. At Survivor Series, he was part of the Raw Team Raw, who defeated Team SmackDown in a clean sweep. At the Royal Rumble, he was entered at 30, eliminating Sheamus, Cesaro and AJ Styles, but was eliminated by Edge. On an episode of Raw, Strowman would team with WWE official Adam Pearce and face Raw Tag Team Champions The Hurt Business, but they were unsuccessful after Shane McMahon would get up in the ring apron and force Strowman to tag Pearce in, causing Benjamin to roll up Pearce to get the win. The next week, Strowman would demand an explanation and an apology from Shane McMahon. However, McMahon instead played a prank on Strowman by mocking him and pretending to flee the arena, before calling him stupid behind his back, thus turning Strowman face. McMahon was scheduled to face Strowman at Fastlane, but McMahon would suffer a left knee injury preparing for the match, instead having Elias take his place. Strowman defeated Elias nevertheless. At WrestleMania 37, Strowman defeated McMahon in a steel cage match. On Raw after WrestleMania, Strowman faced Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton in a triple threat match for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania Backlash, but failed to win after McIntyre pinned Orton. Strowman defeated McIntyre to gain entry into the WWE Championship match following interference from Mason T-Bar at WrestleMania Backlash. Strowman failed to win the title for Bobby Lashley in a triple threat match, also involving McIntyre. This would turn out to be the final match for the company. It was released in June 2nd, 2021. So we debuted for Free the Narrative 2, Monsters in Us All, defeating show's creator EC3. In January of 2022, it was announced that he would team with the former Eric Rowan in a match against Buddy Ray and Enzo, which took place at Northeast Wrestling's WrestleFest, with Scher and Redbeard winning the match. It marked the first time he and Redbeard had teamed together in 5 years. He debuted for ROH pay-per-view Final Battle, where he, EC3 and Weston Blake formed the new Control Your Narrative stable and attacked Eli, Isam, Dak Draper and Brian Johnson. Scher, along with fellow professional wrestler EC3, revealed the formation of their own wrestling promotion, Control Your Narrative. The company started taping for their impending TV deal in March, taking inspiration from Fight Club. The promotion featured talent booking their own storylines in a way that resembles the early stage of Fight Club Project Mayhem. On September 1st, 2022, he reported that he resigned with WWE. He returned on Raw and he tagged every competitor in a fatal four-way tag match on SmackDown. Strowman was confronted by Omos, starting a feud between the two at Crown Jewel. Strowman defeated Omos. Strowman entered into the SmackDown World Cup with the winner earning an eventual Intercontinental Championship match against Gunther. He defeated Jinder Mahal in the first round before losing to Ricochet in the semi-finals after interference from Imperium. Strowman formed an alliance with Ricochet and feuded with the Imperium, where Strowman and Ricochet emerged victorious against them in the Miracle on 34th Street fight on the Christmas Eve edition of SmackDown. Strowman challenged Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, where Strowman lost. In the 2023 WWE draft, Strowman was drafted to the Raw brand, and he went on a hiatus soon after due to undergoing neck surgery. He made a brief return, an open segment with his, to which it was a segment taught on his friend Bray Wyatt, who had died due to a heart attack the previous day. Strowman returned to from injury in 2024 episode of Raw. Mid-2024, Strowman feuded with Big Bronson Reed, in which he destroyed a variety of WWE property. Eventually culminating in the last Monster Standing match, Strowman won after Seth Rollins performed the Stomp on Reed, allowing Strowman to get to his feet during the match. Strowman suffered a groin injury, putting him out of action for some time. Strowman returned from injury on an episode of SmackDown, where he moved to SmackDown brand, defeating Carmella Hayes. Strowman became a guest on the Grayson Waller Effect with A Town Down Under's Grayson Waller and Austin Theories until Carmella Hayes interrupted the interview session, culminating in the match between Strowman and Hayes, in which Strowman lost via count-out. Around this time, Strowman began the feud with Jacob Fatu, along with his fellow members of the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga. At Saturday night's main event, Strowman faced off against Fatu in a match where Strowman won by disqualification after Fatu shoved the referee at the Royal Rumble. Strowman eliminated Fatu before being eliminated by John Cena. Strowman faced off against Fatu in a last man standing match. Strowman, the number one contender for the United States Championship at WrestleMania 41, held by LA Knight, at which Strowman would lose at what would be his final full-time WWE match. In 2025, WWE informed him that his full-time performer contract was expired July 31st. While Scher's release from his contract was due to higher salary, according to Bill Apter, WWE considered bringing Scher back into part-time capacity between 6 months to a year, despite wrestling with his left leg 15% paralysed throughout his second tenure. Despite no longer being an active wrestler, he will continue to appear in WWE product programs, hosting WWE Studios, Show Everything on the Menu with Braun Strowman, which premiered on August 24, 2025. Now, in his personal life, he supports Green Bay Packers. He is a godfather of Bray Wyatt's and JoJo Offman's son. He was formerly in a relationship with Raquel Rodriguez, became friends, and eventually met at a gym in 2019. He also dated professional wrestler Camille. From October 2025, he has begun hosting his own food travel titled Everything on the Menu with Braun Strowman. And it has been announced that it's been renewed for a second season in January 2026. Now, I quite like Braun Strowman. I think he could have done a lot. I think if you give him the chance, obviously with the fact he is partially paralysed in his left leg, means he can't actually wrestle all the time. But I think he had moments where he was good, and he had moments when he wasn't that good. But tell me what you think of Braun Strowman, and what your opinions of him are.